Welcome back to Medium Podcast. It's your host, Melissa Nami.
And it's me, Connor.
And today we've got DJ, podcaster, Crystal Perez. What's up, girl?
Hey, girl. Just chilling.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming.
No worries. Lovely stew.
Thank you.
I've been seeing it online, so it's really great to see it in person.
Again, thank you. It's a lot less impressive when you see it in person.
I disagree.
So I'll take the compliments. I did check out your podcast. You guys have a dope ass studio. You guys got a couch. It's all color coordinated.
Now we do, yeah. There's like a Alexa controlled lights and all kinds of cool stuff. Like
I like that.
That's what's up.
It's like a recording studio as well. So that was 4 months in the making, but brand spanking new. So it's
Hell
exciting.
yeah. I'm going to take it from the top.
Go for it.
All right. You DJ all over the IE, OC, LA. Have you ever gone out of California? Anything else I should know about? Any other areas?
You know what? Yeah, I have. I've been to Florida, I want to say Atlanta, and New Orleans to DJ as well.
How cool. What events did you do over there?
They're called splash takeovers. It's basically a lifestyle takeover of either a hotel or they just have ballrooms set up. Also trade shows, like exotic trade shows, kind of same in the same realm.
How cool.
When I say lifestyle, I mean, I don't know if you get the innuendo, but
Yeah,
it's like
cars, everything like that.
when
you say
more
exotic,
underground, yeah. Like
I think foreign vehicles. Oh, she's talking about Maseratis.
oh my god, I wish. That'd be so sick.
That's where my head went. I got you. I get you now.
I have DJ'd car shows as well,
Okay.
but this is more like the triple X rated type of lifestyle and underground adult entertainment, we'll say.
Porn stars.
Yo, pornography. What? Well, like swingers, I guess, is the layman's term, right? So people in the lifestyle. So it was for a company like that, and they did trade shows as well. Just everything that has to do with porn, sex entertainment, even like, the toys and all that stuff.
How is it DJing for that kind of event?
Oh my God, I love it. It's so freeing because I don't have to worry about any curse words. I can play like my dirtiest records that I never get to swing anywhere. So for that reason, I love it. It's like, whoo, it's like a big relief kind of.
All walls down, you're going loose.
Yeah.
I get it.
Right, and that's kind of the vibe, right? Just kind of cut loose and do whatever you feel. At
your more mainstream type of events and like other types of basic events that you do, what kind of music do you usually spin?
Usually top 40, family friendly, clean cut, all that good stuff. Or if I'm at a club, that's kind of the other side of it. Club music, house stuff, anything raunchy, dirty, R&B, trap. It just, the list goes on.
Do you have a preference? Like what you like to play?
I do. I love playing house music, to be honest.
Oh,
I love really up-tempo, upbeat. I have to be in the mood for like slower R&B. I don't mind it, but I do have to be like in the mood. Normally I gravitate towards music and beats that are just like up.
Awesome.
Fast.
I love it. I love it. So my next one was when you're in other environments, you tap into other genres. So when you're saying more explicit environments, you're playing more explicit music. Listening to your most recent episode of your podcast, I did hear that you are DJing at the Honda Center. I'm assuming that's more family friendly.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Very clean cut. As you do for a former Disney, I guess, company, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, yeah.
Are you DJing for like Ducks games and stuff like that?
That's the end game. I'm in rotation with all those guys that do the in-arena DJing.
Oh, cool.
But it's just a matter of everyone getting trained up and on the actual, premises, like with everything going on. It's a lot. It's like very overwhelming to be DJing for the game in arena. There's so many elements going on, so
I can only imagine.
Yeah, they have to make sure that you're like really on par and that you really know the game, because everything's kind of depends on what's happening in the game also. So for instance, if there's like a fight, you got to play a fight bed, like something kind of rowdy. You got to know what's going on with all that stuff to play the right vibe for it.
I like going to the Ontario Rain games here at the Toyota Center. Yeah, and it's so cool, but it's so funny. It's like every single time there's a foul, they're playing Metallica.
Yeah.
And it's like they know, like as soon as that fight's over, it's like they're getting all crazy. So
I love the crowds. Yeah, they're very like rock oriented, and there's just no other sport like hockey who lets you like duke it out during the game. Like, come on now.
That's what I like
That's
about
rad,
it.
yeah.
Me too. It's one of the funnest parts of a hockey game for sure.
It's UFC and soccer on ice.
Right. And people always go, why do they let them fight? Like no other sport lets them fight. And it's like the whole thing is It's just kind of an understood part of the game. So it's like, this is part of the game. Like, you might lose a tooth. That's why so many hockey players do have like teeth missing.
Oh yeah,
right?
they take out their retainers and then they're just like a couple missing windows. And
They
they're
just understand like, this might happen.
I love it. So when you're at the club, do you like DJing? Just do you prefer weekends? Is there a lot of pressure behind DJing for a holiday like Halloween, New York?
There is a little bit more pressure like around the holiday season, because not only do you have to like incorporate holiday songs, you got to work in Thriller and some of the classics that people always want to hear, but also too at the club, your main job, just like with comedy, you should be hearing people laugh. That's part of doing your job, right, as a comic. So for a DJ, the job is to have people on the dance floor, people dancing, people drinking. So there is that aspect too, because at other, like for instance, the Honda Center stuff, I don't really have to make people dance. I mean, dancing in your seats, that's always a good sign.
Yeah.
But to have an actual dance floor like packed, it's not that same pressure. So yeah, with club stuff, it's like if you clear the dance floor, you will feel it.
Yeah. That's like kind of like bombing when you say clear the dance floor. Okay. Is there a song like? I'm not guessing you do that a lot. I'm assuming you're a good DJ because...
I mean, it happens, but you always get them back, so that's just part of it. It's part of the up and down of
What's your get 'em back song?
Either Low, Flow Rider. I swear that song still goes. Like, and people expect to hear it. If I try not to hit that on a club night, somebody will come up and be like, "Can you play the Boots with the Fur?"
Yeah.
Never fails, so... Yeah, that's one of them. Missy Elliott, I always like to say, gets asses on the dance floor.
Oh, yeah, hell yeah.
She knew what she was doing. She was making music.
I love it.
Right.
That's so dope. Okay, right on. Because I'm like sitting here and I'm thinking, because, when I follow you on Instagram, I kind of see what you're doing. There's a couple environments I wouldn't have expected to be like, I've seen it when I'm at the mall, like the person spinning tracks at the Mac station. Right?
Oh, yeah.
But I never put two and two together that was like, an actual hired DJ. I just thought they got someone that does their makeup to play music. You know what I mean? I'm like, damn, this music's good. They're doing a good job.
Sick ass playlist.
But that's a gig that not a lot of people, I think, put two and two together for. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, yeah.
Are there a lot of other environments, like more interesting, unique places, venues that you've played at that people wouldn't expect a DJ to be hired for?
Great question. That would definitely be one of them. I've been one of those Mac DJs, Macy's DJs around the holidays and whatnot. A lot of people don't see that one coming. What's another one? I feel like DJing is interesting, especially because people don't realize you need a DJ until you need a DJ. And it's like, shit, actually, this little playlist isn't going to cut it. So, I don't know. Like, a lot of last minute stuff comes in for stuff like that. Like, oh, so-and-so's birthday. Are you available tomorrow? You know, it's like, okay, so you realize that homeboy with the iPod, it wasn't, the best bet for somebody's 30th birthday or something.
Especially if you're trying to have a good time. A DJ makes the world of a difference when you're
really
at a party.
It really does, yeah.
Gosh, that's
as
100%.
Far as like more obscure ones, I'm trying to think, but you know what, I've played
other than for porn stars.
I know, right? Honestly, that too, yeah. Like I did Exotica trade show for that company, and it's a trade show for anything erotic and exotic, right?
Yeah.
Let your mind wander on that one.
Even exotic cars.
Damn it, I wish. But even that, like, being at somebody's booth, it does draw a crowd. It does more attention. So they're getting their money's worth because the people gravitate towards where the music is.
Yeah, 100%.
So they don't really expect that. It's just kind of like, oh, wait, is that an actual person? Yeah, it is a live DJ. So it's nice to trip people out every now and again.
That is so neat. All right. So we covered Halloween. You say that you play Thriller. Do you like DJing on New Year's Eve? I'd imagine there's a lot of pressure behind that holiday.
I do. I love DJing anytime I can, honestly. I'm like a workaholic in that way, where it's like if I have a weekend off, I'm like, this feels weird. I should be up somewhere. But yeah, New Year's is great. Again, there's a little bit more added pressure because there's a countdown. Yeah. And usually the DJ's in charge of that. So if you screw that up, it sucks. And I have screwed that up before. I've played like a premeditated countdown with its own audio going. And I hit it, I thought at the right time, but I don't know. Either the audio was off or my clock was off, but it kind of hit a little bit after that midnight. But it was at a restaurant, so nothing crucial. People were doing
that's
their
too
own
much
countdown.
pressure.
Right?
You're all down to the millisecond hitting the button.
Oh, I know. That's the most nerve-wracking part for
Yeah.
like New Year's stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like if I was a DJ, I'd just be like, it's on you guys, ready? We got 10
I know,
seconds.
right?
10, 9. You know,
And that's the
trying to
thing
get-
too, just because you could do that as an MC as well. I'm not shy with when it comes to the mic, but sometimes like I'm double, doing so many things at once, multitasking, right? Like one of them eventually will get half-assed. So sometimes I'm like, I want to say something, but I'm looking at the timing and like, fuck it, I'm just gonna like let it run,
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
So
that makes sense.
sometimes it goes off without a hitch. Sometimes,
Because you're balancing the two. It's not like
Yeah.
you have a third arm that can come out of your gut. And,
Yeah, and me, like, I'm a perfectionist. So I'm like, I'm trying to hit the timing. I'm trying to like get the timing right on my little music talk break and have it be sounding clean, all radio style. So
Yeah.
that's my problem. I'm like always trying to be too perfect, and you can't be, right?
No, I mean, it's your craft. It's your medium. It's
Yeah.
it's how you express yourself, right? And
Very much
you don't
so.
want to do that halfways, because then the only people who notice it is yourself, right?
Yeah.
And then no one in the crowd is going to be like, that was 1 second off. But,
Yeah.
but you'll focus on that, you know
Oh,
what I mean?
yeah.
And that's actually what matters, because you could kill it, but you're like, fuck, I could have killed it harder.
Exactly.
I get that.
But
I
it
get
pushes
that.
you further on the next one, or when you get home, you're like, Sometimes I do that. I'll get home and I'll just go straight to my studio and be like, I'm going to retry that, like, whatever it was, transition, or I'm going to go back to that track that fucked me up, and like work out the kinks just now, because
Yeah.
my curiosity is so, on one that I have to figure it out now so that I don't fuck up the next time. But
Well, that's how you perfect your craft. That's how you end up doing it well. You know what I mean? And you're doing events, you're doing it. So you're doing it well. You know what I mean?
I'm doing the damn thing. Thank you, Melissa. I appreciate that.
It's fucking awesome. Even when I always get curious, because I see you'll post photos of like a home session, and I'm like, why isn't this girl on Twitch? Why can't I find this on YouTube Live? Like I'd love to tune in and see what goes behind the craft.
Right?
You know?
Little fly on the wall type of
Yeah.
vibe. Yeah.
Is that anything you've ever considered doing? Like any live streaming for your, like you must have done, not you must have, but is that something you did during the pandemic?
I did, yeah.
All right.
Once the pandemic hit, I was doing Twitch. I was doing guest sets for other Twitches.
Cool.
And yeah, did a lot of streaming, a lot more uploading. Like even if it wasn't live, just all kinds of videos on YouTube and Instagram. But I don't know, like for me, Twitch was great, but it just I understand that you have to be like kind of patient in the beginning, and the following will come with consistency. Always, I think consistency is the key. Even if you don't have the right setup, but you're consistent, everything can always get better later. But if you have that consistency,
Yeah.
people know when and where to tune in, and
Yeah,
they will.
100%. I
Right?
streamed on Twitch. Well, I have been streaming on Twitch for almost 10 years now.
Oh, nice.
Something like that, or maybe less than that. I don't know, but it's insane how much effort you have to put into it. It's not like you just sit down and play a video game. Like you have to have dedication and be consistent and be on time and talk to your chat and everything, and it's not as easy as people make it look.
You gotta have emotes.
Exactly.
Right?
You gotta make all your emos, have all your design done right.
Yeah, you gotta plan out your channel. So I did do that during the vid, but I don't know. Just for me, every time I logged on, it was just like the same like creepy dude. I was like,
Oh my gosh.
God damn it! Like,
He would have a couple creepy dudes watching him too. But
Yeah, so it's just-
he likes the attention.
Yeah, for sure. I like
if
the
there was a
attention.
little bit
As
more
long as they got
people in
money.
there, like maybe, but just for the same audience of one, for like the most part, I'm just like, ooh, I don't know.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
wait.
have to grind on that audience of one for a minute. The first like year or so is like pretty rough.
Absolutely.
But
yeah.
I mean, it's not like I have a shit ton of people watching me, but it is nice having like 5-10 at a time, you know?
right? I'm like,
Yeah.
just throw some bots in there at least. I don't care.
I would tease him too, because he would say, he's like, oh, I got to grind this out. I got to do this. We would hit him up as like, we were young, maybe like 22 years old, all of the homies going to the beach.
Oh, wow.
And we're like, yo, Connor, come through. And he's like, nah, I'm streaming 8 hours today, 10 hours today.
Dang, putting in that work, Connor.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
He literally would be, even now he does a stream on Saturdays, Coffee with Con. It's 9 o'clock. Because of the podcast, he does 9 to 12, but before it was 9 to 6.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty
Goals.
It was a long one. Yeah,
Goals, like-
yeah, it's rough, but it's easy when you have the time for it. When you don't have the time for it, it's
Yeah, and you got to sacrifice, like not going to the beach.
Exactly.
And he did that, but you ended up having a couple people following you on
We
Twitch.
did well on Twitch for a
Yeah.
while. We did well on Twitch. We had a few bans, so You know, just being stupid early 20-year-olds, mid 20-year-olds,
Man.
drinking and that kind of thing.
He would get drunk as shit
on stream.
Oh, yeah.
drink out of a shoe.
Yeah, we were. Yeah.
But that's why it's cool, you know, because it's very raw, unfiltered, and you never know what will happen when anything is live, whether it's like the news, a stream.
He wants to do a live stream here, and I told him, nah, I'm not ready for that
Live
yet. I'll
content.
say something stupid.
Yeah, live content's my favorite for sure. It's my
Mine
favorite
as well.
form of internet media. Yeah, but I like doing this as well for sure because then it gives me time to edit it and make it look all nice. But live stuff raw is always fun.
Absolutely.
I would just blank.
You'd be surprised, you know?
Yeah, you'll
Probably.
get used to it. You're able to stand up on a stage.
Exactly, and that's all the way live, you know?
Yeah, I guess. But there's always some type of there's comfort behind people not knowing who I am, and for the most part, no one's recording me, so they can't play back. You know what I mean?
I see
They
what
could
you
play
mean.
this
Yeah.
back, or like something that is said on live stream. I don't know. Well, maybe one day I'll feel more comfortable in doing all this in order to do live.
Yeah,
I want to
think
come
so.
back. I'm going to circle back to the whole live thing though. I want to finish the DJ topic.
Let's go.
All right. So you said songs you play that get any crowd going. Shorty Get Low.
Low, Flow Rida. Yeah, I know Usher just performed that at Super Bowl, but that still cracks too. A lot of music from like 14, 15 years ago.
I'd like to say that Yeah by Usher is also kind of about cheating on your girl. It's so funny. I love Usher, but I'm like, have a guy perform at the Super Bowl whose song playlist isn't all about cheating and getting caught, you know?
You see how they are, girl?
But it's true.
Yeah.
All of his bangers are about cheating and getting caught.
I know, right?
Or knocking
Sketch
up the wrong
Usher.
girl. For real, dude.
With his shirt off to boot.
Yeah. Usher's a good one. Do you like playing any oldies? Like, do you ever fiddle around with like 80s music?
Oh yeah, I love playing 80s freestyle.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. I'm like,
school.
I hear a lot of freestyle music at my girlfriend's parties.
Oh, disco, all that.
Yep.
It all falls in. Yes.
It's so much fun. Funk music, all that good stuff. Debbie Deb.
Oh yeah.
I like it.
That's that good shit right there.
Have you ever done a music festival?
I have not, but it's on the list. I want to do EDC Mexico. So I'm like, I don't know how, but universe, I'll take that. Thank you.
Did they do an EDC in Mexico?
They do, yeah.
What city do they do it in, or
I'm
state?
not sure. I'm not sure actually. I just know it's in Mexico, and they do the full Monty with that. Like it's a crazy ass stage. Such a big turnout. Just that's a crazy show.
So
basically,
you said you like doing house music, so that's where EDC comes in. You'd play more of that techno,
Yeah.
electric music. Cool.
you know what? 90s house music is like my baby, my specialty. Kind of like I don't know. I just never get tired of it. So when I think of house, that's kind of the genre that I think of, and then it kind of ties in with all the 80s freestyle and all that good stuff we were talking about earlier. But
Well, when you say 90s house, I just think Alice DJ, Better Off Alone.
Right,
That's who
yeah.
that is, right? Fucking love that song. That's like one of my little pride is whenever I'm driving with my nieces and stuff, we do dance party in the truck, and I'll just because their parents don't put the music on loud, I'll blast that shit and we fucking make the truck shake and stuff. It's so much fun.
sounds like it.
I love 90s techno house music. There's no genre like it.
There's not. I love hard house, and that's kind of anytime I can squeeze some of that in, I definitely do.
Have you ever tried is it considered composing or producing your own electric song?
I guess it'd be producing, but no, I haven't. I haven't gotten to that stage yet. I really want to just perfect DJing as much as I can.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the natural progression for most DJs, is like getting into production, all that good stuff. But for the most part, I haven't been too worried about it, especially because you have to learn software and, I don't know Ableton like that. I can't even do Photoshop, it's kind of overwhelming to me. But if I had like a little MPC, a little beat pad or something, that might be easier because I'm more like hands-on with it.
And well, it's funny to hear that you're intimidated by technology because
Absolutely.
everything you're doing is on technology. So
Girl, yeah, that's partly why like I never really pictured myself as a DJ per se, career wise. Just because when I would see my peers do it, I'm like, that's a lot of pressure and that's a lot of math.
yeah, equipment, everything.
Everything, yeah.
So to me, it's like you broke one barrier to learn all that.
I did.
You're only on your way to break that next barrier to start producing your own music. It's gonna be fucking tight.
Ooh, I like that.
And don't be shy about it because you're like, I know I can't do that. That's why for this, I have him. You know?
Yeah.
I didn't even try.
Right. That's kind of where I'm at too. Like having somebody to help you out and figure it all out. It's like crucial. I feel like.
That's freaking cool.
You can produce. I believe in you. You
Yeah?
got it. Yeah, we believe in you over here.
I got a good ear, but I just the back end. I say I'm sometimes tech-tarded because I'm like I don't know what's going on.
I like that.
Yeah.
He produces his own music. He does a lot of like I want to say like video game indie style techno. Is that what we could consider your techno style beats
I
or
have
electric?
electronic style
Electronic.
in it sometimes, but it's
Ooh.
really eclectic. Yeah, it's weird.
I love that. There's
It's
like
weird.
There's like Sonic and Chill on YouTube. It's kind of like
Okay,
it's like video game music, but also like I don't know. Maybe I'm picturing something like that.
Yeah,
when-
no, there's like drum and bass videos of that kind of stuff too. I love drum and bass.
I
It's my
love
favorite.
drum and
Drum and bass
bass.
is what's up.
Yeah,
Have you ever tried doing a drum and bass song?
No, I haven't. I'd love to though.
I love that shit.
I can
too.
see you getting down.
Yeah, I would love to.
Fast BPMs.
I'm all you do the drum and bass song, and then we're gonna make Crystal do the remix.
Okay, I'm down for that.
Boom.
That'd be fun.
Let's do it.
You mentioned earlier that you worked in radio. What did you do with radio?
I was an on-air personality at the radio station, and then I had other sub jobs too. Only because I had to work my way up to being the radio personality. So, in like the 5-year span of getting, the 5-year span prior to getting to that on-air personality status, I did Street Team. I was
What radio station?
local ones, 99.1 KGGI.
Girl, that's we know that one.
Yeah.
99.1 KGGI. Yeah, dope.
It's an iHeart station, you know. Yeah, it's small flex, but
Hey, Crystal, you got a little
Big
bit of
flex.
dirt on your shoulder. Let me get that off for you, PIMP.
Oh my god, thank you, Melissa.
She
Yeah,
tried
I mean-
not saying that. She's all just at a radio station. That's fucking cool, dude. Did you have
Thank
like a name for your personality, your on-air personality, or were you
No.
just Crystal Perez?
Yeah, I just used my government name. Just,
Oh, okay.
Just cause.
That's fine. That's how people are gonna find you as a DJ as well. You know what I mean?
Right? Yeah, but that's why I went all out on my DJ name. But I also use my real name interchangeably, so
Yeah.
it's either or.
Is your DJ name DJ Perez? That one?
It should be. And maybe if I get a cease and desist, no, my DJ name I go by Creamy Mommy.
Ooh. Ooh.
I love that facial expression. Yeah.
Wasn't
so
expecting that.
it's
Let's go.
It's a mixed bag, a mixed reception, but it's just a really obscure 80s anime reference that I'm a troll and I just love saying. I love referring to myself as that because, you know, it fucks with people a little
Yeah.
bit. It kind of points out to, it kind of like, it's a vibe check immediately when I tell people my name, and it's like, either they're like, their face says it, or they're just like, oh, you thinking about changing that? I'm
Yeah.
like, no. Not unless.
How would you say it on the mic? Like you got to say it like I'm the crowd, I'm
mean,
dancing. You cut the track.
Here we go. Let's go, party people. You know, we're in the club. Creamy Mommy in the house. Make sure to tip your bartenders.
I love it.
Keeping it going on this Friday night.
If that doesn't get people in the zone, I don't know. Creamy Mommy, I love it.
I know there's like a way to say it where it's not like cringe. I feel like it's just Creamy Mommy. Like if you go Creamy Mommy, like if you make it weird, it'll sound weird, you know, but
I don't want to say this and have you take it weird, but you sound cool all the time.
why would I
You
ever
do.
take that weird? Oh my God.
You
Thank
have
you.
swag when you talk.
What?
You do. You don't know that?
I mean, I just talk, and I'm telling you, it's a mixed bag.
It's cool.
The whole reception of me, but I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, so we're back to 99.1 KGGI. You're a radio personality.
Correct.
Did you do like Ryan's? I know what's that called? Like a segment, like Ryan's Roses. Did you have like an hour segment? Did you do any type of interaction with the audience or
kinda
anything?
wish. Just phone calls, just like people that called in either to request, make a dedication, or just like talk to the DJ. People would call in for stuff like that.
Did you give away concert tickets and shit?
I did, yeah.
That's cool.
A lot of good stuff that I gave away, and I even got some of those tickets and got to attend some of the festivals or shows or whatever it was.
What a
So,
neat little perk.
Yeah, right. It was good times, honestly.
Any events that you got to attend which stood out?
Oh my God, yes. It was like it was a Kings of Comedy show of some sort. I'm not sure exactly what it was called because this was like in early 2010s. Had to have been, and they were horrible tickets. Like we were in the super nosebleeds, just like a friend and I, super nosebleed section. But oh my God, we were laughing our asses off just being in that room. Like it was pretty electric, and it was palpable even at the highest tippy top of the damn stadium or arena, wherever it was. I just remember like being so high up, not really being able to see what was going on, but just like laughing because
Still being involved and like part of the energy.
It was
That's so cool.
much fun.
That's what's so neat about comedy is you just have to hear what they're saying.
Exactly.
You know? Were you already a fan of comedy at that point in time?
I was. I think I've always been a fan of comedy. Yeah.
Love it. Love it. All right. Voiceover. You mentioned you did voiceover. Is that acting or is that...
You know what? I had an agent. And I tried to break into voiceover acting, but it's so competitive. I remember I was signed with an agent for like a year, and they would send me auditions. I would record them at the radio station and send them back. Only a couple of times did I actually like go into a studio like in LA somewhere and audition like live in person, but nothing ever came of it. I never got booked for anything, but it was just like a lot of practice, basically cutting stuff, voicing it over, and then just feeling that rejection right from the machine.
Isn't that hard?
Yeah, it's interesting.
So you mentioned that Creamy Mommy is a 80s anime reference.
It is.
Are you an anime fan?
I am, yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah, cool.
I feel like I'm more of a mainstream anime fan because, like, obviously Sailor Moon. That's actually my screensaver right now.
Hell yeah.
That's what's up.
Right? And then, like, Dragon Ball Z. Went through a big Dragon Ball Z phase. And then, like, that Creamy Mommy one. But other than that, like, I kind of recognize characters from here and there, but I haven't really been well versed in the whole anime spectrum.
I'll recommend Attack on Titan to you.
Ooh.
That's what this sword is behind me. Yeah,
Nice.
big fan of this. If you like political dramas or anything like that, it's a really good political anime.
Very cool.
I'm a big fan of video games too. That's the Zelda sword.
And you know what? I'm a fan of collectibles. Like,
Little gadgets and stuff. Yeah.
From whatever it is that, like, is your niche. Yeah.
Yep. I'm into it.
This gnome right here is killing it with the double mids.
Isn't that funny? Isn't it so funny?
It's so good.
It's a little aggressive too, huh?
But that's why it's amazing.
Yeah,
There's
I
no other
like it.
gnome like that on the block.
I wanted to put him outside at the front door, but I was like, you know what? If I saw that, and I consider myself a pretty decent person, I'd fucking steal it. You know what I mean?
Right? Oh, yeah.
I would see that and be like, okay, mine.
He's better off in here.
All right. So let's break into the next part that I want to get into. You are a podcaster.
Yes, ma'am.
You are on the Blockout podcast.
Correct.
I tuned into your most recent episode. I did do a little bit of research on your podcast.
Thank you.
I was doing it alongside my girlfriend, and she immediately started fangirling over the fact that your podcast is hosted by the gentleman ODM. Mm-hmm. She's a very big fan of that Sunday afternoon song.
Nice.
She was like, Crystal goes on the podcast with him. That's so cool. I'm like, yo, don't get me all fangirly over Crystal right before she comes over.
Shout out Chantel. Thank you.
Hell yeah. So how did you find yourself on that podcast?
So ODM, he's like a living Latin legend. So for people that aren't familiar with him or his like music legacy, that's what he is to like the raza community, you know? So I knew him from the radio days as well. He was an on-air personality at 99.1 and at Kiss FM. He did music director also at the station. So we were around each other a lot.
How cool.
Just peers and coworkers. So I want to say at some point we were both let go from the station. So there was a few years in between that, he actually, the timelines are a little bit different. I left first and then he left, I want to say a few years later. After he left the radio station, he kind of wanted to keep something going. So he was like, all right, I'm going to go all in on my own podcast. And so he did. He was doing it for a little while, and then he started to kind of want to recruit a co-host and also like a female for just like a female perspective to have on the
fun
show.
Diversity, everything like that. How cool.
So I guess he kind of thought of me as an option. I was local. I had my radio background, and we already had
familiar.
camaraderie. Yeah. So he hit me up, asked me if I was interested, asked me to shoot a little kind of like a demo or like an audition tape, sent it in to him. And I even had like a sit-in at one point. I just went and I sat in and watched everything that they were doing. I wasn't a part of the show as of yet, just came to watch and see how it was going. And I was like, I think if you're willing and all that, I think I'm ready for to join something like this, because it had been so long since I was doing dash radio here and there, just like all these little kinds of radio shows, just in an effort to just keep that sharp, the radio personality end, but nothing was getting any kind of traction. but with that, I was like, wow, you guys have a pretty good setup. And like we agreed upon earlier, Connor, it can always get better as far as equipment goes, surroundings, studio stuff. So he seemed to have the drive, and I already knew everybody that was part of the cast. I mean, the other cast members were all artists and either DJs, musicians, that we all knew each other prior. Even the photographers, behind the scenes dudes, I'm like, I knew all of them from the radio or from DJing or somewhere in that area. So I was like, oh yeah, this feels really comfortable.
That's so serendipitous how you found yourself at KGGI, kind of left, and then you found yourself kind of back in the same environment, which is really neat.
Right.
That is really neat. All right, so I hear the hits at the girlfriend's parties. Is it surreal to be on a podcast with someone that has so much notability and outreach amongst a community that I'm assuming you identify with?
I do, yeah.
Okay.
I definitely identify. And it is surreal. It's very interesting as well, because it's like I know him on a personal level where it's like we've been in the trenches together, we've seen the sights, so to speak, and it's cool to see him as an artist versus like as a radio personality, because he was an artist first.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's always interesting to see the people that trip out on him. He's like one of those walking Mickey Mouse type of dudes where it's like people want a picture, people want to say hi, they want some kind of interaction. It's like, wow, that's the living legend right there. Oh, you're right, you're right.
That is such a neat thing to be a part of.
Yeah, it is.
I'm very happy for you.
Thank you.
I enjoyed listening to your guys' podcast. I did tune into the most recent episode, and I surfed around on your guys' more previous episodes, just kind of surfing around, wanting to get to know what the theme of your podcast would be, and I kind of got my idea. But would you, I mean, from what I listened to, it was like hip hop music. Let you guys touch on some conspiracies, do some reactions, which is kind of fun. I like that. What would you describe the theme of your podcast to be? The Blockout Podcast. We'll put the logo down here too, if that's cool with you.
Yeah. It caters more towards like Chicano culture. We talk a lot of raza speak, something for the tios and the tias,
Can you tell me what raza is?
Just like your people, like the Mexican people, the Spanish people, the Latin community, basically.
Okay. Like it.
Right? So it's definitely directed towards that crowd. And anything Latino-based, Chicano-based, rap-based, because there are 2 rappers on the show. So definitely part of that. And then, just like pop culture, reactions, commentary.
I saw you guys even did a video on like Felipe Esparza. You guys touch in on some comedy stuff, so.
Yeah, anything topical, controversial too. They like controversy, or at least to speak on certain things like that. Kind of a mixed bag, but towards the raza culture. So yeah, thank you though for checking it out. I know some of those episodes run long. I think the last one was like almost 3 hours. So.
Well, I mean, that's what I was gonna come back on too. Is it was a live episode? You guys did a live episode?
They're all
voice
live.
Went out there.
They're all live except for the ones that you see where it's like a singular, just ODM chatting. Although I think he does go live on his own too, on the Blackout channel as well. But yeah, we do all of the shows live. We take live call-ins. There's a chat room that's always popping. So
Damn.
It's all part of the show.
Does that add a layer of, I guess, like attentiveness that you need to, because you not only need to be part of the conversation that's happening in front of you, but you kind of have to be aware of what's going on in the chat, how to tie that in.
Absolutely, yeah.
Is that hard?
It sometimes, but other times it's just very natural, because the way that everyone is settled in, we all know each other, so the conversation is very organic. And then just, a little reminder here and there. I think all of us have it all pulled up. So even if I'm not paying attention to the chat, somebody be like, oh, somebody sent us a super chat of $5. And it's like, oh, shit, let's check.
Okay. And you guys have the chats on your phones?
Yeah, so we all are kind of on the same page with what's going on. Or, if there's a glitch and we're off air, there's always somebody checking on it. So it's easier to rotate in that way. But
have you had any wild, unpredictable live moments happen on the podcast?
Oh my God, so many.
Any fun story that you're willing to share? Something wild?
You know what? I always reference the episode with Jeff Garcia, who's a comedian as well. And it was one of the earlier episodes. I want to say it was the second time I was on the show. And that guy was throwing all kinds of curveballs. He was just like, he was on my ass that day. Like, I was his target. I don't
He
know.
could smell the fresh meat.
Yeah, right. Something.
He's like, this girl's on episode 2. Let's get her.
I mean, he was ragging on everybody, and
Yeah.
you know, he's doing what comedians do. But
He's known for crowd work, so I'd imagine that he was working you guys pretty well.
exactly, perfectly said. So yeah, I always reference that because me and him, we had a good back and forth going, and damn, that was just like a really interesting one. And that's the one I actually get the most feedback on. If people ever meet me out in person or even sometimes in my DMs, people will be like, wow, I really like the way you handled yourself on this episode with Jeff Garcia. You know, he came after you and you held your own. So props, girl. I'm
Now
like, hell
I
yeah,
know
thank
what
you.
I'm listening tomorrow.
Oh my God, Melissa, as a comedian too, I was like, fuck, I could have said this, you know, like afterwards I was like, damn it. But it was so on the fly, and he caught me off guard, honestly. There's been a few guests that just caught me off guard with some of their shit that they say or some of the shit that they've directed at me as like the only female in the show, because it is a boys club.
Yeah.
It's a boys club, and there's a lot of locker room talk, dirty talk. So I'm right there with them though, just like talking like a sailor, and
You chime in.
yeah, I chime in heavily, and I don't mind. But yeah, some of these fools have really caught me off guard, and I'm like, which card do I play? The bitch, or like, you know, kind of giving it back to them. But they never like it when you give it back, girl. Like, even comedically, it's like, you're Jeff Garcia, you're a comedian, but you can't take a joke
Oh,
from
shit.
me.
Pew,
Like,
pew, pew. Shots
right,
fired.
right. So
Did you come back with a zinger?
I had some zingers in there, but I thought of better ones once I was like home. I was like, fuck.
That always happens. I hate that.
Yeah, and
I
I didn't
could've said
realize
this.
like how much of an impact it had, like after the taping of it. But as time went on, since that was so early in my time of being there, as time went on, other guests that we would have, they'd be like, "Hey, I saw that Jeff Garcia episode," or they would. A lot of people would reference it, even other comedians. So I'm like, oh, okay, interesting. They're like, yeah, we watched it twice, and I'm like, what the fuck? Even my family, like, oh yeah, we had to watch it twice
Oh,
to
wow.
like really hear like everything that was said in the back and forth. And I was like, interesting, yeah.
Did you guys get into like somewhat of a heated argument or like a heated discussion or something like that?
He was just being harsh, you know. So I was just like, I was giving it back to him, but I felt like I should have given it harder.
Yeah.
So next time, no mercy.
No mercy. I'm excited to listen to this. I'm going to touch back on it for sure next time I see you.
Oh, no worries.
So you say when you first got on, how long ago did you start becoming a regular on the Blockout podcast?
I want to say it's been a solid year for me. It was in January of 2023 that I really jumped in there and joined in and was on the mic and all that good stuff.
How cool. Right on. And you've been doing comedy now for how long?
I want to say 6 months, maybe. Well, now that we're in February, maybe like 7. During the summertime at some point is when I joined the fun with you guys. So.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I love it. I love having you around. I think it's really fun. You know, you mentioned a boys club, and that's kind of what comedy is too.
Right.
And as a female that was in it, you know, I love seeing a dope female come and stick around.
Thank you.
So
Likewise.
I'm grateful.
It was dope when I first came because I kind of did the same thing. Like I kind of sat in and saw what the vibe was and how it actually ran. I wasn't sure how a comedy show ran in a sense, even though I've been to comedy shows before, but this time I was actually going with like a studious mind, you know?
Yeah.
And it was so cool seeing you go up. And I was like, hell yeah. I think you were the one of the only girls that had gone up the very first time that I went to go witness that. And so I was like, right on.
Were you at the W or at Brooks?
At the W.
Oh, hell yeah, cool. That's actually material, so that means a lot.
Yeah, right.
It's one thing if I just say something crazy at Brooks Bar and it makes someone laugh. It's not, you know what I mean? When it's
Yeah.
not yours and you're just going off the top, but it's like if it's something you put effort into,
Yeah.
then it means a little more.
So true.
You mentioned you guys took a little bit of a hiatus from your podcast, and I'm guessing it's when you guys were building out the studio, which is again really awesome. I loved your guys' setup.
Thank you. Yeah, correct. Yeah, about 4 months. I want to say the last episode we did was in October. And at the time, we were just kind of switching studios, so to speak. They were renting a space at first, and then we moved into a restaurant. We actually started doing it at a restaurant in Ontario called Bubba's Tacos.
How
Shouts
cool.
out. Yeah, he didn't mind us setting up and just filming everything there. He was really, really accommodating, and that was cool. And we would also do it at ODM's house in his backyard. It's a beautiful backyard, and we'd set up there, and it was all good vibes and all that. But he really wanted to have like his own kind of compound, so he built one. And
When there's a will, there's a way.
absolutely, yeah.
That's awesome. And if anyone's going to be able to do it, it's someone that's been in the industry. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Not only music, but radio and everything that has to do with broadcasting and
And recording.
recording. Yeah, that's so dope. And I heard on the podcast that you guys are going to be using it as a recording studio, recording artists and stuff like that. That's awesome.
Right. Pretty cool.
I'm really excited to see what comes out of it for you too, because if you're able to record and do some stuff in there.
Right.
I heard the word Twitch mentioned in there. I'm like, let's see a broadcasted DJ set from Creamy Mommy.
Yeah, right.
I'm jealous. I wish I had a studio like that where I could do like everything in one spot. Yeah.
Right. It's its own thing. I appreciate it.
It's badass. So kind of starting to tie everything together and how I know you, because you're a DJ, you're a podcaster. I only know you because you started hanging out with us comedy losers.
Yeah.
You started hanging out, and I'm like, now I know someone cool. Which was pretty neat for me. But I'm curious with the muscles that you've already worked out, right? DJing, podcasting, getting your toes wet with comedy. Is that something that's helped you fine tune those skills? Is it anything that's helped enhance one more than the other? Anything like that?
Heck yes, girl. I mean, public speaking, right? That's kind of what the open mics are. I understand that it's an art, and I appreciate the art that it is. And part of that art is the public speaking aspect of it. I feel like so many people, that's like their greatest fear, being on a stage or just, performing.
Having eyes on you.
Yeah, being perceived, right?
Yeah.
Super scary sometimes. So for that, it's, it's killing a lot of fears with one stone, I feel like. And yeah, going up on stage at the W and at Brooks, especially for the improv stuff. Oh, it's definitely helped my mic work in the club, at gigs, as an MC in general. Yeah, it's made me, I don't know, want to exercise it more. Like even at gigs where I'm like, normally if I don't have to talk on the mic, like I just kind of won't. Even though it's weird, like with my radio background, you would think that I would talk more, but sometimes I'm just like, nah, I'm just going to be a DJ right now. Like I'm not going to, whatever.
You're going to let the music speak.
I'm going to let the music speak, yeah. So now I'm just kind of like, yeah, you know what? Fuck it. I'll get on the mic. I'll say a little something. And then nothing but love when I do actually speak up. Even for like smaller gigs, like restaurants and stuff, I'll be shouting out their little specials or little certain happy hours they got going on. They're like, wow, oh my God, like nobody else is doing that. Thank you. So I'm like, yeah.
You're helping advertise and keep the mood going. That's so cool.
Crack the mic. Why not?
You got to like it a little bit more now, right?
Yeah. You know what? Yes and no. Because sometimes, like I said, if there's too many elements going on, I'm like, I have something I want to say, and then it'll go to shit, right? Because I'm like, all right, never mind. There's too much going on. I'll save it, or it just doesn't come out the way that I had wanted. Even, comedic-wise on those platforms, too, on those mics. It's like shit.
It's like you see it coming out organically, but you go one left turn, and it's no longer organic.
Right?
I get that.
Instead of just sticking to like what you know.
But we put ourselves in that situation when it comes to comedy, you know what I mean?
And sometimes it pays off, but
yeah. Would you ever be interested in like, having something like a recording studio or anything like that? Have you ever been interested in singing a song yourself, or can you sing?
You know what? I'm not a singer like that. I wouldn't claim it.
Can you rap?
only like if I'm on a good one and I'm like with people that I trust or by myself. Like I do freestyles all the time. But
okay, so this next segment, we got a beat ready. I'm just kidding.
I was like, wait, what?
I didn't see that on the Google Doc.
Oh my gosh.
Would you have been down if I was actually doing that?
Oh my God. The last time I actually did an interview where somebody asked me on the spot to bust a flow, and I was like, yo, it's not in my bag of tricks. I wish it was though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually really funny. That's something I was joking. I would never put you on the spot like that. That sounds kind of hard.
Well, only if I could do it through the puppet.
If you want.
Just keep the camera on the puppet.
You hide under the table and just stick your hand out.
Lenny's actually got some skills of him, like for himself. You know what I mean? So he might be able to carry the team. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's Lenny.
Hi, Lenny.
He's our boy. My boy, I guess. Fuck you. You don't have any claim on Lenny. I guess he's medium podcasts boy.
Yeah.
No, you can have him. He's kind of a dick to me.
Yeah. I guess, whatever. Alrighty. So keeping it going. So you don't like singing like that?
Like that. Like I did karaoke the other night and I got a good response actually. But
What did you sing?
Just a Girl, no doubt. I did a duet with another chick there. And it was cool. People gave us some good feedback. I'm like, interesting.
I saw I saw on your Instagram the other day you do Fred Durst Fridays.
Oh my god, I love Fred Durst and Limp Bizkit and new metal in general. So I celebrate Fred Durst Fridays for sure. No matter how cringe it is to other people, I'm like, no, fuck that. Limp Bizkit is a great band.
No, they are a great band. What the hell?
Right?
Nookie is one of the greatest songs
of all time. No, yeah. And Fred Durst was always like my fucking man crush, so whatever.
If I had $1 for every time I listened to break stuff on a bad day,
Right?
I'm like, I'd have so many. I have a lot of bad days.
A lot of dollars.
I'd have like $34.
Hell yeah.
Would you ever want to produce a beat for a rapper?
I would love to if I was any good at it. You know, if I had it in my repertoire to do so, and I had a willing body, I'm sure. You know, why not? I feel like I do have a good ear for it, but it's just not something that's on my radar yet. You know.
Have you ever played a real not saying like a physical instrument?
Yeah, you know what? I used to be a drummer back in the day.
Well, this is what this is. Have you ever played a physical instrument?
I don't know what instrument that is.
I played this instrument.
Right? It was like a hot dog guitar.
Yeah. I don't know what I was doing either.
Right? The drums were my instrument of choice back in high school. I wanted to be a drummer so bad, like some Travis Barker shit, some Lars Ulrich. Like, I wanted to be a fucking rock star. That's what I always pictured for myself, specifically as a drummer.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my instrument. Was I any good at it? No. It was actually kind of annoying because when you have a drum set, like unless you have a studio that's soundproofed, my studio was my garage. Yeah. And anytime I would play, it would attract like just randos. Like people would come up to the garage and knock on it and they'd be like, hey, I heard you from so many blocks over. Yep. I wanted to see if you want to jam. And I'm like, who the fuck are you? Like, I'm only 16, dude. Get out of here. What the fuck? Like,
see, that happened to me and my bandmate a couple of times when we were practicing in the garage way back in the day.
Oh my gosh.
Then we'd have neighbors come by and be like, hey, I like your music. And like want to stop and we're like, oh, we're practicing.
Yeah, that would throw me off. I'm like, oh my God, people can hear me? What the fuck? I'm
16,
practicing.
bro.
Yeah, I'm 16 and I just want to fucking beat the shit out of this drum set in peace.
That's the thing about drums is you cannot practice them quietly.
Exactly. So I was very heavily discouraged after that. I was like, man, forget this. But
even my practice kit is pretty loud. You can hear it through the house.
Well, yeah,
right?
He has an electric practice kit that he plays on.
I want one of those because they seem quieter, but
you hear like tapping. You know what I mean? There's no difference in the sound.
Yeah.
It's not super loud, but you can hear it, but it's not like
it's not even annoying if you walk away. But the funny thing is, like, I remember I would see the drummers that were like practicing, they throw the pillow in the bass drum and they do all of these little things and it still barely made a difference. Like it's loud.
Yeah. I loved it though, but I was just like not into the process of getting good at it.
Now if you were 18,
right? Probably would have had less fucks that I gave. But
would you have been down a jam with a couple neighborhood homies or?
Perhaps, yeah, perhaps. But it would just depend, honestly. If they looked a little bit off kilter, I might have been like, nah.
Fuck, most musicians kind of do.
They do, right? I probably missed out on some really good fucking
true.
jam sessions. But just because, like, I'm a young girl, I'm petite at that, so I don't trust you, mo flippers. Get out of here.
Hey, we all live local. Next time you guys do a jam sesh, hit up Crystal.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He hangs out with a bunch of musicians. They do like a guitar, bass, pounding on the drums. Join a little rock band.
And you are a drummer, right? I've heard
Yeah.
that on the show before.
Yeah.
Sick.
It's more like a hipster rock group. I'm just kidding.
Either way,
We play
that's
everything.
awesome. There you go. We play everything. That's what I say too. I play everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
He also plays like guitar, bass, all that good stuff.
Oh, you're like a prince. You can do it all.
I don't know about a Prince, but I can play it.
That's awesome.
He can't dance or sing like Prince.
No, definitely not. Nobody can. Are you kidding me?
That's a go. He's amazing. I want to ask you a couple questions about music.
Please.
Do you have a favorite artist?
I feel like it switches off, but my go-to artists are kind of like the back in the day artists. Lauryn Hill, Missy Elliott, I adore. I sweat her so hard, Missy Elliott.
What does sweat her mean?
I just fuck with her too heavy.
Oh,
Like
got it.
I study her basically.
Got it. Okay, cool.
I sweat her heavy.
You talk so cool.
It's okay. I'll provide more context next time. No, thank you though. Yeah, she's on my tippy top list. Yeah, just artists from more back in the day. Ice Spice I really like present day, not because she's like super talented, but she kind of owns that about herself. She's like, yeah, no, I'm not classy and I'm not a lyricist, but these are the beats and these are the jams, so here it goes.
Her music's fun.
Her music is fun.
Yeah, I will say that.
It's bad bitch music, you know?
Do you have so let's go like that. So do you have a favorite rock band other than Limp Bizkit?
Other than Limp Bizkit? Good question.
I love how you're a diehard
Right?
Limp Bizkit fan. That's so cool.
How dare you make me think of anything but Limp Bizkit?
I know. Oh my god, I'm sorry, Fred. No, just kidding. No Doubt. No Doubt was always
Hell yeah.
was always one of those bands for me.
That's cool that they're doing a little reunion tour this year.
It
Huh?
are
is,
they?
yeah. Gwen's my bitch.
Yeah, they're
Nice.
doing Coachella.
Oh shit.
So I mean, if they noticed how excited everyone was about Coachella, they should do a
Right.
reunion tour, make a quick bill.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be fucking crazy. Do you have any favorite current female rappers?
Besides Ice Spice, current ones. Good question. I mean, yeah, I kind of like all the rap girlies, you know. Like there's certain things I appreciate about all of them, like Nicki, Megan Thee Stallion, even Cardi B. You know, she has her own little flavor. There's little bits and pieces that I like out of all of them, you know.
Okay. I really like Bia. Do you know Bia?
Oh yeah, it's a whole lot of money. Mm-hmm.
I love her.
She's
I
real
got a
cool.
Bia t-shirt. I have this like little dream of mine, like a dream collaboration. My dream rap collab would be Bia and Baby Keem.
Ooh, okay. She's tight too.
Yeah. I love his music. His
Oh,
shit's...
wait, sorry. I'm thinking of Baby Tate. Just
No,
kidding.
no, no. You know Baby Keem. He's Kendrick Lamar's nephew, the one that he's been doing all the duos with.
Okay.
They're
There we
fun.
go.
He's eclectic. He's got a crazy different taste, or not different sounding music, I guess.
There we go.
Yeah. Do you have a
he's-
dream collab?
A dream collab? Like if I was gonna rap with people?
No, not you. Dude, it's got to be good. It's got to be a good
It's gotta
collab.
be good rappers.
Yeah,
okay.
Like I just said,
For
like
the sake
I
of
thought
music.
I thought you were saying that you wanted to perform with them.
No. If I was to perform with a rapper, it'd have to be someone on my level, someone like the GOAT Jay-Z, maybe someone as genius as me, like Kanye. I'm just kidding. No.
Somebody goaded. Yes.
I'm all someone. Never mind. I'm not gonna make you bleep anything in this episode.
Why not? Go for it.
Someone that we'll bleep that. All right, but like that kind of thing. Like, do you have a dream? Like, if you could see.
I mean, I have one in particular, Rap Ferreira. He used to be known as Milo. He's not like a huge artist, but he's really, really good. More like Shabazz Palace's kind of stuff.
Ooh, is that like underground?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty underground. He listens to very low key music.
Nice.
Milo's fun. Well, I'll shoot you a track by him.
Please, yeah.
What's he
Yeah.
going by?
Rap Ferreira.
Rap-
R.A.P.
Nice.
Sick, fascinating.
Yeah, I love the creative names and all that good stuff.
Do you have a favorite like electric house artist that you currently like to play?
Currently, what's that motherfucker's name? Chris Lake. Chris Lake has some jams. A Craze, if that's how you pronounce it, I'm not even sure. Good
Isn't that the
shit.
tough part about some of these artists? Is like we're
Yeah.
guessing
Right?
until they do an interview and you're like, oh, okay, that's how you say it.
I'm totally that bitch that will look up an interview and see how they pronounce their own name.
So you got it right.
Yeah, definitely them two. And again, like I just think of older house music artists. Richard Humpty Vision. Well, he's like a DJ, but yeah, a lot of house stuff. DJ Irene, if you guys are familiar with that 90s house type of vibe. Anything that they've ever mixed or done or produced. They also produce, I want to say, but yeah, man, I'm drawing blanks even though I shouldn't be. James Hype. James Hype's a good one.
I'd imagine it's easy to draw blanks when you have a music library as extensive as does that make sense? Like,
Yeah.
you're searching so much when you're going in there because you have such a wide knowledge, or like you have a very large music.
It's broad, and I
Database.
know I'm missing people, but
But you're gonna naturally, because it's like that issue of knowing so much that you begin to, that's so
Yeah.
dope. All right, now I tried not to talk about comedy the whole time, but now we're gonna talk about comedy. So what made you decide that you wanted to give it a shot? You're hanging out 7 months ago. You knew you liked it. You know, what made you decide I want to go up there and talk on that mic?
it was a long time coming. Like I kind of mentioned earlier, I've always been a fan of comedy, like as a profession and as a skill. Always thought it was admirable and something that like would be cool to do, especially if you can get paid for doing it. So it's always in the back of my head, back of my mind. But again, not something that I'm like, oh yeah, I can do that. But in the more recent past, like when I started doing the block out with some of these guests that were coming on that either I had met right then and there, or they came on and again kind of saw past episodes and saw the way that I interact with people. So I got mistaken for being a comedian like a couple of times just off of that. So I was like, like if I'm being mistaken for a comedian, well then fuck it. I might as well just try it out.
Yeah.
And see if I can actually become one. So I just kind of took that and ran with it. That was kind of like the deciding factor for me. The fact that it happened more than once, I was like, okay, hold on. Like, let me see, how true enough it could be. So I just went for it. And then also, too, knowing that George Ferrito, who I knew that the buddy system was like his thing. And I've known him for years just through the bar scene. Him being a bartender and myself being a DJ. I always knew that he did that back there, but I never actually went to go witness it.
How neat.
But I always thought it was cool that he did comedy and that he was bringing it to the IE. Because otherwise, you would have to go to LA or further out to even get a chance to do an open mic type of thing.
Yep.
So I thought that was really cool. The fact that it was at Worthington's, and that's a place I'm just so comfortable with because I've been there through so many iterations of Worthington's. And I even call it Worthington's. It's the W now. Like,
yeah.
But to me,
I always forget that too.
Right?
I
Yeah.
haven't called it the W once. I swear I haven't called it even once.
Right? It's had so many like makeovers.
So you just taught me something.
Oh, really?
I was completely convinced that just the patio was called the W.
Oh, really?
And it was like the W at Worthington's. Like Worthington's was the inside and the W was outside.
You know what? You might be right, but
I feel like I'm totally wrong because that was my first time going to Worthington's was for an open mic. I've never been for any iteration. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't go out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've had many memories within those walls. So I was like, the fact that it's local, it's at Worthington's. Like, I know that place like the back of my hand. I know George, so there's a familiar. And yeah, just like my own burning curiosity. I was like, why the fuck not? So went there, checked it out. Of course, fell in love with it. Just seeing it more like on a more like grassroots level, you know, as opposed to going to an actual comedy show somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just loved it. And the fact that there was girls going up, I was like, yes. Okay.
It's fun, huh?
Yeah, representation. So I was like, hell yeah. So maybe I could do it because these girls are doing it, you know?
Yeah. And I like that you go up there, you have a lot of original ideas. You're not like, and I feel like I talk a lot of crap on it, but it's not like that typical, like, what females try to go up there and do. It's like that hoe comedy. Like, you don't spit that. And I really appreciate that. Like, you're trying to go at, like, you're making fun of life scenarios. You know what I mean? Living situations. Like, I really enjoy what you do when you go up there. It's pretty fun.
Thank you. And you know what? I have the same kind of mindset as you do when it comes to like the hoe comedy. I'm like, I get it, and it's an easy reach for any girl, I feel like. But yeah, there's something to be said when you can kind of pivot a different way and also still be like dirty, still be crude. But yeah, just
be human.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember one of my neighbors here, she's riding her bike all the time. And when I was doing the show at the Improv, I had the little cutouts of the flyers in my fanny pack. Ooh. And any neighbor that would talk to me, I'd be like, hey, like, come through. And I was just trying to spit it like anywhere I could, right? And I remember I told my neighbor, who I really like, and I told her, I'm like, oh, you know, if you want to come to my comedy show, here you go. I'm like, but, you know, just so you know, like, I do curse a little bit. And she cut me off and she's like, oh, you talk like a normal human. And I'm like, I was like, thank you for that. You know what I mean? Because I feel like there's so much shame that I almost, not like shame behind it, but I'm like, yeah, I cuss a little bit and I say some wild things, but who doesn't? Everyone's trying to be like the GOAT Kanye. I'm just kidding.
It's regular. You know?
I actually don't even like Kanye West.
Not like that.
I mean, I like a couple of his older songs. Like I'll play a couple of them, but as far as like I know his albums. I mean, I did see him live when Jesus Walks came out.
Nice.
Yeah, I went to the Usher Confessions tour. But it's cool that you found yourself doing it. You know?
Thank you. Yeah, you know what? I'm glad I kind of found myself doing it. I'm glad that it was such a cool scene and so welcoming, honestly.
I was going to ask you about that because there's been a couple misconceptions about the scene.
Oh, really?
Well, I mean, I never felt them. I always felt very welcomed. I always felt like it was very friendly, but I also am not full of myself to think that if someone says hi to me, like, oh, you guys are hating on me. You know what I mean? Like, I was very
Right.
aware that no one gave a fuck because they saw Chantel. You know what I mean with me? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there's been that, like, I've heard from other people, like, oh, the guys tried to talk to you. I'm like, no one, I mean, unless I'm that ugly, which I know I'm not, you know what I mean? Which is fine. But I'm like, I never got, like, a gross, aggressive vibe from the scene. You know what I mean? I've always loved it.
Yeah, no, I have really never gotten that vibe either from it. If anything, I've gotten the most weird vibes from people that kind of like are more on the outskirts and will come in from time to time.
The audience members?
Not even the audience members, just like, I guess, comics from that are in more popular areas. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
when they come to...
And they're full of themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
You like the
anything,
humble people.
Yeah, the humble people. They're the ones that are... The ones that I see the most, you know, at these mics, so...
They're the ones actually grinding. I get it.
Yeah.
Do you ever, when you're at the mics and stuff and you hear the music in between the comics, or you're like, I could do that?
No, I always appreciate him. Like, hell yeah, it's a good one. Or like, even the way, because George is good. You know, he's fading in, he's fading out. And,
Oh yeah, George is great.
Yeah.
His music taste is really fun and it switches up a lot.
Right? Yeah.
I always just put rap shit.
I love it when like he kind of makes it relevant to something that the comic just said. I'm like, ooh, that was quick.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
that's always fun to do too. I like doing that sometimes whenever you get a good chance to do it.
Yeah, all you guys do a really good job when you guys are DJing. So
Well, we're all just trying to make people laugh.
it's all part of the show. Yeah.
I was like, there was that gay cowboy that I was having fun with for a little bit. I forget his name.
Oh, really?
He's not actually like a gay. He's like a Jake Hill, I think is his actual name. Yeah, his thing is Jake Hill, but he has like a alter ego gay cowboy personality.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen him.
You haven't? Dixon Dallas.
Dixon Dallas? I would need to see a picture.
Dixon Dallas.
Here we go.
That's how gay his gay personality is.
See, so I don't want to hear nothing about Creamy Mommy, okay? You guys love this shit. No, I was kidding.
Yeah. You like it when people make you laugh.
Yeah. Silly.
Has anyone actually given you crap about Creamy Mommy?
Oh, yeah, all the time. I've heard it all. And there's been, I remember I was doing a quinceañera with my dad, and it was actually a quinceañera for my family. So my dad was my roadie, helping me with all my equipment and stuff. And we were there before everybody setting up, and they also had a band. So we were just shaking hands with the band, you know, we're all setting up, getting in our little spots. And the main band member, leader, I'm not sure what to call him, but he's like, oh, so what's your DJ name? And I just said flat out, like, my dad knows the name, and I don't know what he thinks of it, but he wanted to make merch, so I think he's on board with it for some reason.
Yeah.
But he was like, oh, so what's your DJ name? Like, Creamy Mommy. And he was like, it sounds like some kind of porn star or something. I was like, yeah, I know it does, but it's innocent. It just
Girl,
immediately.
that's the irony.
Yeah, exactly. It's a double entendre, my guy.
Yeah.
But they don't get it. They don't get the reference. Not many do. But to me, I'm just like, I know what it is, so it's innocent to me, and it's hilarious. Like I said, it's a good shit test for people because it'll clue me into people that are perverts immediately, which, you know, birds of a feather. I'm also a pervert, but I try to be, you know, inconspicuous with it, hence the double entendre.
Is it Creamy Mommy, the magic angel?
Yes!
I found it.
She's like a cute little lavender-haired purple girl,
Yeah,
right?
she's really cute.
I'm saying.
I would not have expected this to be Creamy Mommy.
Yeah, and she has a mic in her hand, so, you know, she does the damn thing, too.
How did you... Is this like a musical anime?
It's a magical girl anime.
Oh, cute.
And yeah, I haven't really watched most of it, but I'm just familiar with it because I like obscure parts of YouTube. I find myself in many rabbit holes. So I just found myself, in this little J crowd and just girls talking about or like reviewing like magical girl anime specifically, like, you know, Sailor Moon type shit.
Yeah.
That's the type of shit I like. So yeah, this one girl just was reviewing all kinds of Creamy Mommy stuff, and I was like, oh my god, like all into it just off of her reviews, you know. Checking out the visuals for myself, but I haven't actually like watched full episodes of it. But
yeah.
I just get the gist of what it is, and the way she would describe it, she's like, "Creamy Mommy." So I was like, yeah, you know what? It sounds like it could be dirty, but it's innocent.
Well, you can watch it on Tubi for free.
Oh, can you? Damn it, I don't have Tubi.
Hey, they're not paying us. Don't plug them.
I don't know. I'm interested in this too now.
I've tried to get it like bootleg style, but I figure
This is just
one of
so
these
funny
days.
to me because I'm like, I'm a little piece of me is like the translation isn't what they expected.
Exactly.
You know
so
what I
that's
mean?
always my thing, but yeah.
How fun.
It is fun, yeah. It's creative license, you know, like Limp Bizkit. That's a crazy name.
Yeah, you're right. A couple of those oldies, older bands, they had some fun names. That's very
Corn
true.
with a K, you know.
Oh my God! Don't get me
And the
started on
backwards
Corn.
are.
Yeah, the backwards R. See, that was my era. That's like where that's the kind of shit that I like. So I try to carry that over to what I'm doing now. And if anything, I just feel like it kind of shows people like, you know, you can be outside of the box and still be able to do your own thing.
Yeah.
The fact that I get to be a DJ for the Anaheim Ducks, and you know they don't use my name Creamy Mommy there, like I'm just DJ Crystal, and that's what I say to him, like, oh, I have subs, don't worry, like if you don't feel comfortable calling me that, like it's okay, there's subs.
You'll let them call you Creamy Ducky.
I just go like, there's the family favorite DJ Crystal, you know, it's a safe one, or like Creme Brulee Mommy, I just fuck around, Dreamy Mommy, you know, you could censor it, or just call me Crystal, DJ Crystal, Crystal Perez, or just call me DJ for all I give a shit, you know?
Yeah.
Right?
Do you like songs where they shout out the DJ? Like, are you a fan of that song by Madonna? Hey, Mr. DJ.
Oh yeah, yeah, you know, but they always say Mr. DJ, so I'm just like Mr. DJ, or yeah, Go DJ by Lil Wayne. That one always hits when I'm DJing.
How do you feel when female celebrities go DJ? Like, I know Paris Hilton, right? She DJ'd a little bit, right?
She's the highest paid female DJ, I want to say.
Really?
Yeah.
Paris Hilton?
I could
Paris
see
Hilton.
that. I could see that.
Yeah. Sometimes I have mixed emotions about it because it's like, yo, that's cool. You know, she's out there, she's rocking it. But as far as like,
Yo, Stars Go Blind hits hard.
Let's go the complete
Right?
opposite of her. And how do you feel about Shaq DJing?
Shaq Diesel.
Is that his DJ name?
I don't know
Yeah.
if that's his rap name or his DJ name.
I think it's his DJ name is DJ Diesel something.
Oh
something
shit!
Like that.
Yeah, see, he has a funky name too, but I don't know. I respect it more if they are actually DJing, you know, and just like not playing anything pre-recorded or not kind of like I don't know.
Pre-recorded set.
Yeah, like I think
Mixing.
I think Paris Hilton is kind of guilty of that, like doing some pre-recorded shit. But you know, I don't know. She swears that she is doing it live, and I don't know. I guess it just depends. But sometimes I'm like skeptical of it, but usually they win me over because there's something about it that you can tell that they really like doing it, you know, and they are putting in some effort. Like DJ Pauly D, Jersey Shore.
Hey.
I fuck with him. Like, you know, he's out there getting it.
Yeah.
And he's DJing. He got a sick ass setup. I'm like, your goals, Pauly D.
Man, this was pre-pandemic. I went to a noodle festival / music concert out in Huntington Beach, and they had DJ Snoopadelic, which was actually Snoop Dogg.
Hell yeah.
And that shit was cool.
Yeah?
Because he was DJing, he was playing old G-funk, old rap music, and then he'd flick on his song, grab the mic,
Oh man,
get everybody hyped up because he's singing a little bit, and then flick back to a different G-funk song. You know what I mean?
So fucking cool, especially for someone like Snoop Dogg who has hit records, timeless records out that everybody knows the words to. That I do respect. Another one too, Fatboy Slim. Fatboy Slim became a DJ, and he's actually pretty fucking sick with it. Have you seen that, Connor?
No, I haven't.
Oh my god, he's really good, and he throws in his own tracks in there and super.
Can I ask you a weird question about being a DJ? Just something I've always wondered.
Please.
There has to be like I don't want to say this the wrong way, like a God complex when you're up there and there's 150 X amount of people, then you press that one song and everyone's moving. And you know, if you change it, you can change the way they're moving. You know, if you stop it, you could stop the way they're moving.
Absolutely.
Are you aware of that while you're up there?
Yeah, you know, you can feel it, and a lot of the times too, even if I'm looking at my equipment or something, the peripherals catch a lot of what's going on, even like people's individual reactions. You know, if they're within peripheral shot, I can kind of tell what's going on, whether it's good or bad. But yeah, sometimes, you know, if they're really, really rocking to a song, one of the things that I noticed when I wasn't a DJ, when I was doing radio, and I was even an MC during that time, so I'd be in the clubs and on the mic assisting the DJ, you know, kind of rocking with them, and just kind of observing the way people are or the way that DJs mix. I'd be like, damn, you know, like they only played such a short amount of time of that song. Like I wish he would have played a little bit more or gone like for the second verse or something like that. And I feel like sometimes the crowd feels that way too. It's just like too quick that they pull it out if it's like a song that they're feeling.
Yeah.
So sometimes almost too aware of that, and I'm like, okay, they're rocking with it. I'm gonna let it go for another verse. And a lot of DJs, I feel like, frown upon that, just because like you're letting it play too long in the club almost. But I'm like, but at the same time, if you cut it too short, that's also disappointing. So might as well just let it ride.
Yeah, that takes self-awareness and the connection with the crowd. So you're aware that they're enjoying it. You're connecting with them. So you're aware that if you cut it off, you're going to have someone in there that's like, what the?
Yeah, like I hate seeing that too, because sometimes that's how I felt in the past. Like, yo, I wanted to sing the chorus again. You know, like it was just getting good. So yeah, you definitely see a lot in the peripherals.
And, you know, you do it on a humble scale. I always think about that when, you know, people bring up someone like Taylor Swift. And I'm like, dude, she has to feel wild when she shuts up at a concert, but there's 50,000 people singing every word to her song.
Every word.
You know what I mean? And that, I mean, obviously that's where you feel like that crazy type of, I think of Avicii, you know what I mean? When rest in peace, when he was at his prime, you know, plays Levels. Can you imagine being the dude who wrote Levels playing Levels? You know what I mean?
That's a lot of power and energy coming towards you.
Yeah, power. It's crazy. I mean, I don't know why I think about it like that. Like when you're in charge of the environment, energy. It's cool. DJing is tricky.
It's a frequency, and you know, people feel it on a cellular level, even if they aren't aware of it. You know, I think it definitely it's palpable.
Where can the people find you, Crystal?
They can find me on social media all over at Crystal Perez. That's Purrez.
We'll tag it.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Hell yeah. And then Creamy Mommy, we can find you. You'll throw your sets on there?
Yeah, you know what? I upload to Mixcloud, and my Mixcloud is Creamy Mommy, but the I is a 1 because somebody already took Creamy Mommy. Can you believe that shit?
Man.
So
I'll hit you up for that tag too, so we could put that in there.
Yeah, Mixcloud for the mixes and everything else. Mainly I use Instagram, so that's where to get all the good updates.
Do you do any like fun Spotify playlists or anything like that for people?
You know what? I don't fuck with Spotify. I never listen to it. I don't even know how it works.
Oh shit!
I'm more of a YouTube music girly.
Oh, okay, got it. You should do a Creamy Mommy like workout playlist, Creamy Mommy chillin' playlist.
Yeah, you know what? I've been thinking about it, so
I'll tune in.
might have to do that.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Crystal, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
I really appreciate you coming out here. Like I said, you're someone that I've just, and now, I mean, my gig is up. I think you're really cool.
Thank you.
So thank you for coming around the comedy scene. Please keep coming around. I'm excited to hear what you come up with, and I'm excited to catch your DJ set one day.
Much love, Melissa.
Hell
I also
yeah.
think you're very cool. And Connor, my hat's off to you as well.
Thank you. You're
Killing
cool
it over
too.
there.
In your corner.
Yeah, cool corner guy.
Cool corner guy Connor. I love it.
Thank you guys so much.
Hell yeah. Everybody, thank you for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe. We'll see you next time.
Thank you guys.